Random thoughts. I saw a comment in one of the videos that I made, and it reminded me of the racism that exists among Africans, like racism of Africans against other Africans, or racism of an African for other Africans. And often what is talked about is how the other people outside Africa see us and how they treat us. That's talked about a lot. But what is not talked about enough is how different ethnic groups on the continent view other ethnic groups. And in most cases, or in many cases, it's not a good thing. And the comment I'm talking about is where somebody asked, and I don't want to say that they were malicious when they asked the question. They asked about the Tutsi of Rwanda and Burundi. And the video was about, of course, the Somali people and the Oromo people. And of course, there's this history or this discussion in history about the Tutsis being related to Somalis and the Oromos. I can't say that is what it is for sure, but maybe they are genetically related. It's possible. If you look at people from Rwanda, you can see a lot of Somali look and a lot of Oromo look in those people. You can look at Paul Kagame, and he could so easily pass for somebody from somewhere in the Horn of Africa, somewhere in Somalia or Somaliland or Djibouti or Ethiopia for that matter. And but somebody made this comment asking me to discuss where the Tutsis came from. Well, first, I think it's a problematic topic, especially if you are in Rwanda. I understand that that's a topic that is not encouraged to discuss about the different groups of that country. And it's understandable why. It's a sensitive topic. Rwanda has been through a very difficult phase in history. 90s was not an easy period for Rwanda, and all of us know what happened there. And whatever happened there came out of ethnic identity gone rogue. And while ethnic identity is good, but it can easily go rogue, as it happened in Rwanda, of course. But this person was asking this question, me to say where the Tutsis come from or where they came from. Of course, I don't know where they come from. I can't tell you I know where they come from. I don't. I just know that they are Rwandese and they are part of that society, and maybe they are related to other people in that region, and that's that. Of course, they must have come from somewhere, or they are related to Somalis or the Oromos or other people from the Horn of Africa. Maybe they look the same, as I've said. But the question insinuated, where I had an issue with, the question insinuated that they are smarter than the other people. And that says that maybe they are Cushitic. And I have a problem with attaching Cushite, Nilotic, Bantu, and any other language group to genetics, because I don't believe they really go together. But the question was basically insinuating they are Cushitic, and that's why they are smarter than other people. And I have a problem with that way of thinking. And I think there is a lot of that on the continent, where there are groups of people who feel or believe that they are smarter than other people just because they are of a certain ethnic group. And that, of course, is racism. And that, of course, was what Europeans believed, that they were superior in terms of intelligence than Africans. But now we have Africans on the continent who look at their ethnic identity and they say, this is who we are or how we look. And because of that, we are smarter than these other people who look like this. And maybe for people who are not from Africa, it might seem like Africans look the same, but we don't actually look the same. And that's nature, of course. Different people have lived in different environment and they have adapted to different environment, which has made them to look differently. Now, there are people in Africa, their hair is different and the hair of others is different. That's what it is. And there are those that are darker skinned and there are those that are lighter skinned or have lighter skin and things like that. And we are speaking in general terms here. We need to be very careful because in every community, people look all types of ways. Now, That comment, of course, brought out what I've seen in conversations, both online and elsewhere, where there is this belief that people are smarter or not smart based on their ethnicity. Of course, that is racism, basically. And while of course, the Europeans believe that, and we are also speaking in general terms, we have to be very careful with this conversation. It is unfortunate that the same conversation happens in Africa, or same beliefs exist in Africa, where some groups will look at other groups and just believe we are smarter than them. They are not as smart as we are, or we know how to do things that they don't know how to do. And often, of course, those conversations are very generalized, number one. And number two, they come out of this an ego thing, basically. It's people feeling we are better than others. It's an ego thing. And of course, humans like feeling that they are better than others. It makes them feel good. And that's all that it is. But scientifically, there's nothing like that, actually. Of course, there are studies which we can acknowledge that have shown that people in certain regions can have a little bit lower IQ than people from other regions. But I don't believe, and many people don't believe, that that's actually due to ethnic composition of the people. It's more of the environment and maybe access to education and things like that. And yeah, so there's that. And that comment brought out that because he was insinuating that, oh, these people must be Cushitic because they are smarter. And I was like, why are we assuming they're smarter? What proves that they are smarter than other people? Those are my random thoughts.